Imagine for a moment that you re an archaeologist standing in the midst of an excavation site in the deserts of Egypt. You've been carefully brushing away layers of sand and dirt, when suddenly your trowel hits something hard. You brush away the remaining debris to reveal an ancient clay jar hidden beneath the earth for centuries. Your heart pounds in your chest as you realize what you may have just discovered. It could be the key to unlocking untold secrets of the past, but also one that could change history forever. And yet, despite its age, its contents could still resonate deeply with you today.
Oh, well.
Such an exciting discovery is not only the stuff of thrilling adventures depicted in Hollywood movies, but surprisingly, it was the reality for one scholar back in 1945, and his find has become known as the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, which many believe is one of the most important missing Gospels that has survived since the days of Jesus Christ. Let's explore what this ancient Gospel contains and why it was kept out of the Bible. Before we get into the juicy details, I want to ask you to do me a quick favor. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our eye-opening videos here on this channel. Also, if you enjoy learning about history and discovering the secrets of the past, please click the like button so we can keep making awesome content. Now, let's dive into the mysteries surrounding the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. Imagine being the first person in over 1,600 years to read the words written by Mary Magdalene herself. For that privilege, one French scholar went to great lengths, dedicating nearly 30 years of his life to translating ancient texts from Coptic into French. His name was Jean-Marie Cannel, and he made a groundbreaking discovery that changed how people view Mary Magdalene. Through his efforts, we now have access to this powerful wisdom, which had been lost for centuries until its rediscovery in the early 20th century. This incredible find left scholars reeling and sparked renewed interest in understanding who Mary Magdalene really was and what she taught. But who is Mary Magdalene? We know her primarily as the woman who betrayed Jesus, but there is more to her story. According to the Gospel of Mary, she played a pivotal role in Jesus' ministry, acting as his interpreter during his mission to heal the sick and spread the word of God. Not only that, but she was one of his most trusted disciples, and even witnessed the resurrection of Lazarus from the dead. So what did she teach? What makes her teachings so revolutionary? And how were they received by early Christians? Let's delve deeper into these questions and uncover some shocking truths. Mary Magdalene's teachings challenged the status quo of the time. She didn't shy away from controversial topics, but instead tackled them head-on, which likely led to tension with religious leaders who preferred 2. Maintain control through strict adherence to tradition rather than embracing new ideas. Despite opposition, she fearlessly shared her beliefs, inspiring many along the way. One particular teaching attributed to Mary Magdalene is a dialogue between her and the Apostle Peter regarding the resurrection of Jesus Christ. This conversation highlights Mary's unique perspective on salvation and offers valuable insights into how early Christians grappled with complex theological issues. According to historical records, Mary Magdalene was among a small group of women who followed Jesus during his ministry. She became one of his most devoted followers, traveling with him as he taught and performed miracles throughout Galilee. After Jesus' crucifixion, she, along with other female disciples, continued to proclaim his message, though they faced hostility and persecution. Despite these challenges, Mary Magdalene's legacy lived on through oral traditions passed down by early Christians. Even after the destruction of much of this material during the Reformation, fragments remained, offering us glimpses into this remarkable woman's life and teachings. Although Mary Magdalene's teachings were influential, they were ultimately rejected by early church leaders. The reasons for this rejection are complex and multifaceted, but can be boiled down to a few key factors. One major reason was the patriarchal nature of early Christianity. Women were generally relegated to domestic roles, and their voices were often silenced within religious circles. As a result, many of Mary Magdalene's teachings, which challenged conventional norms and offered alternative perspectives on faith and spirituality, were disregarded or suppressed altogether. Additionally, her emphasis on personal experience and intuition as sources of knowledge clashed with the growing emphasis on rationalism and intellectualism among theologians at the time. This created further tension and contributed to the marginalization of her teachings. Furthermore, Mary Magdalene's association with controversial figures and her willingness to engage with those considered outcasts by society also drew criticism from religious authorities who sought to maintain a certain image of piety and respectability. Ultimately, the combination of societal norms, theological debates, and power struggles within early Christianity led to the silencing of Mary Magdalene and the suppression of her teachings, which ultimately led to her being branded a heretic and her legacy being tarnished by false accusations. Let us take a closer look at the content of the Gospel of Mary and explore some of its most shocking revelations. The discovery of this ancient text provides us with an invaluable opportunity to gain insight into early Christian thought and practice. Written in the form of a dialogue, the Gospel of Mary presents a compelling conversation between Jesus and his disciples, including Mary Magdalene, on various topics related to faith and the kingdom of heaven. Through this dialogue, readers are introduced to different perspectives and interpretations, providing a richer understanding of how early Christians grappled with complex theological issues. One particularly intriguing aspect of the Gospel of Mary is its exploration of esoteric teachings attributed to Jesus. These teachings go beyond the typical parables and sermons found in the canonical Gospels, delving into more mystical and esoteric realms. For example, Mary Magdalene plays a central role in these discussions, demonstrating her deep understanding and insights into spiritual matters. Her active participation highlights the importance of women in early Christianity and challenges traditional gender roles often imposed in religious contexts. Another fascinating aspect of the Gospel of Mary is its inclusion of material not found in other contemporary Christian texts. The Gospel offers a unique perspective on well-known events such as the resurrection of Lazarus, providing alternative narratives that expand our understanding of key moments during Jesus' ministry. By examining these distinctive accounts, scholars gain valuable insight into how early Christians remembered and transmitted stories about Jesus' life and teachings. Overall, the Gospel of Mary provides a rich source of material for exploring the diversity of thought within early Christianity. Its esoteric teachings and unique perspectives challenge conventional historical narratives. While shedding light on the evolution of religious ideas during this formative period, now, you might be wondering why this gospel was left out of the Bible. Well, the process of canonization, or deciding which books would be included in the Bible, was a complex and often contentious one. Various factors influenced the selection process, and different Christian communities had varying criteria for what constituted a canonical text. Ultimately, the decision to exclude certain books like the Gospel of Mary was based on a combination of theological, historical, and political considerations. The predominantly male religious authorities who dominated early Christianity were suspicious of Mary Magdalene's teachings and her independent thinking, which did not align with their own beliefs and authority. They feared that giving women a voice in religious discourse would challenge the established power structures and disrupt the existing social order. Therefore, by silencing Mary Magdalene and excluding her teachings from the Bible, they sought to maintain control and preserve the traditional gender roles within their communities. Unfortunately, this trend of silencing female voices and marginalizing their contributions continues to persist in many religious and secular contexts even today. However, through ongoing efforts to recover and celebrate the diverse experiences and perspectives of women throughout history, we can challenge these harmful biases and work towards a more inclusive and equitable society. By understanding the socio-historical context of the time, we can better comprehend why certain books like the Gospel of Mary were excluded from the Bible. During the early centuries of Christianity, as the religion spread and evolved, there was a growing need to define and standardize its teachings. The process of canonization emerged as a way to establish which books should be recognized as authoritative and representative of authentic Christian doctrine. However, this process was not without controversy, and different groups had varying opinions on what texts should be included. The exclusion of certain books like the Gospel of Mary can be attributed to several factors. Firstly, the writings of early Christian women like Mary Magdalene were often overlooked and disregarded due to the patriarchal nature of the time. Women's voices were frequently silenced, and their contributions to theological discussions and debates were minimized or ignored. As a result, books written by women were less likely to be considered for canonization, and their perspectives were excluded from the official Christian narrative. Secondly, the decision to include or exclude a book from the Bible often came down to the perceived orthodoxy of its teachings. Books that deviated from the dominant theological viewpoints held by influential church leaders were more likely to be rejected. In the case of the Gospel of Mary, its teachings may have been seen as unorthodox or heretical by those in power, leading to its exclusion. Finally, historical and political factors also played a role in the canonization process. As Christianity became more widespread and institutionalized, the writings that were selected for inclusion in the Bible often reflected the teachings and perspectives of the dominant groups. Books that were associated with minority groups or that challenged the authority of religious institutions were less likely to be accepted as part of the official canon. The Gospel of Mary provides us with a unique window into the world of early Christianity, offering valuable insights into the teachings and experiences of Mary Magdalene, one of Jesus' most devoted followers. Through her words, we witness a strong, intelligent woman challenging conventional norms and seeking deeper understanding of spiritual truths. While her teachings ultimately faced suppression and rejection by religious authorities, the survival of the Gospel of Mary allows us to appreciate the diversity of thought and practice within early Christian communities. By exploring this ancient text, we gain a richer understanding of the historical context of Christianity and the contributions of women during this formative period. Thank you for joining me on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button and share it with others who may be interested in these forgotten stories. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about the fascinating life and teachings of Mary Magdalene and the impact she had on early Christianity. If you want to learn more about ancient history, make sure to check out our other videos. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.